Hello, fourth graders, and welcome. You have found lesson 1.13. Today we're going to be talking about perimeter. And, this is a skill that you will need as you move through your life. Look at this picture here, right? These people have this nice pool, and I want you to notice this fence on the outside because this is actually required by law. If you have a pool in your yard, you have to have a fence. And in order to build a fence around your yard, you have to be able to find the perimeter of your yard. Perimeter is the distance around the outside of a shape, right? So I like to remember this in a rectangle, right? Perimeter along the outside of a shape, right? So this side plus this side plus this side plus this side. So what I want you to do is to open in your math journal and take a moment to do the math message at the top of math journal page number 32. Take a moment and do that, please. All right, so let's see what we had for this first one. So the perimeter of this square, right? If we had 2 feet, so it's a square, so they're all equal. This one would be 2, 2, and 2. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 8. Oh, let's try writing on that again. Oh for 2. See if I can get it this time. There we go. 8. How did you find the perimeter? How did you find that perimeter? Well, what did we do? We added up all of the sides, right? Added up all of the sides. Now, if we took that into inches, what do you think? Well, that's a lot harder, right? So you have to think, well, how many 12s would that be, right? Because each foot is 12 inches. 8 12s would actually give us 96. If you didn't get that, I'm not as concerned, but because really today's skill is about perimeter, because we can always come back and work on feet and inches in another lesson. So there it is, perimeter, distance around a shape. So as we go through here, our objective is to find the perimeter of a rectangle. And you can see there's perimeter in our standard, and we're actually going to be able to answer some real world problems as we move forward this year. All right, so now we're going to open up, we're still on page 32, and I want you to look at number 1. So when I'm looking at number 1, right, I first have to figure out the length of the rectangle. The length of the rectangle right here is 15 inches, right, 15. The width is 9 inches. So if I find the perimeter, what I'm going to do, right? 15 and 9. And actually, let me go to a new screen here so that I can write bigger so I can demonstrate 2 ways to find this, right? Here we had, it was 9 on this side, 15. I know that's not perfect. Now, the other sides, right? If we know that side's 9, then that side has to be 9, and this side has to be 15. So some people like to add up the two sides that are similar and the other two sides that are similar and then add them together. In fact, this is what I prefer. 15 plus 15 equals 30. 9 plus 9, that's a double, that equals 18. And then we add those two things up, 30 plus 18, and we get a perimeter of 48. I think was it inches? Let's see. Yeah, inches. We always want to label. 48 miles is a whole lot different than 48 inches. Or if you prefer, right, here's our rectangle still, 15, 9, 9, 15. Some people like to add up the two sides that are adjacent, that are next to each other, and then double that. So 15 plus 9 equals 24. And then another 24, right? Double it and get 48 inches. So one way to find the perimeter on a rectangle is to add the opposite sides that match and then add the two sums together. Or you can add the two sides that are next to each other and then double it. Either way, you're adding up all 4 sides, because if you forget, right? If you only add up this side and this side, you're going to say that the perimeter is 24, but it's not. It's 48. Let's write our equation here too. What did we do? 15 plus 15 plus 9 plus 9. So let's review. You tell me, how did we find the perimeter of the rectangle? Part, we add all four sides up. Add all four sides. If we want to generate a rule for that, sometimes you'll see that written as length plus width equals P for perimeter. Sometimes you'll see it written like this, 2L, right? That means 2 of the length plus 2 of the width equals P for perimeter. You'll see those, as you move up in grade levels, but those are called formulas. There it is, right? Oh, there's Willy Wonka talking about his formula. There's the same thing we mentioned there, and another way to write it. So let's do some practice. Okay, so what would the perimeter of this shape be? You tell me. Now, if you said 11, that's not correct. Why is it not correct? Well, if you just have 11, you just did 6 plus 5. But don't forget that this side is 6 and this side is 5, right? So if we add these two sides together and get 11, we have to double that to add these two with it. This is 22 inches. Always label your answer. How about this guy? What do you think? What's the perimeter? Okay, let's check our work. If you take 4 and 4, right? And then that would be 8. 4 plus 4 is 8. 3 plus 3 is 6. 8 plus 6 is 14 inches. So this is how we're finding the perimeter. We have one more here. Take a moment and try this one. Okay, you could have done this side plus this side, 8, which equals 18, and doubled it, which would give you 36 inches. Right, so this is finding perimeter, adding up all the sides. So our objective, there it is, to find the perimeter. In your math journal, what you're going to do, the next one, is to measure lengths and widths of your journal and two different rectangular objects in your classroom. Now, if you're not in a classroom, you might have to measure things that you have around the house. Okay, hopefully you have a ruler in your house. If you don't, I'm going to just have to have you estimate, right? So estimate the length of those objects to the nearest inch, right? So if you're going to record the length right here, the width, right? How long is it? How wide is it? What would you do, right? What's your number sentence? And then the perimeter. So you'll do number 2 there, and then you'll go on. Here's number 3, where you're doing the same thing that we were doing, finding the perimeter, and a word problem in number 4 and number 5. Ooh, careful. Number 5, look, you know the perimeter, but you have to try to figure out this side. So we'll get our thinking brains going a little bit on number 5. Number 6, you get to draw your own rectangle. Okay, so we don't need map boxes yet. So you're going to be going up through number 6. All right, so our goal here today was to find perimeter by adding up all of the sides. If we have a shape with more than 4 sides, we would just add all of those up, right? A hexagon has 6 sides. If we wanted to find the perimeter of it, we would add up all 6 of the sides. All right, if you need any help with anything, be sure to reach out to me, and good luck.